This is the Royal Blue Podcast by the players for the fans. I am your host, Brian Logan. The Royal Blue Podcast provides Cougar Nation with a weekly player's perspective look at all things Brigham Young football. No media talk, just locker room talk, like one of my guests just said during our pre-meeting of this show, which has lasted 30 seconds. Brandon Olgletree, happy that Tree is here. I haven't seen you in a long time, and we got Knucklehead Ross Apo, who got fired and hired again.
Fired and rehired.
I've been fired like 6 times, and Brian just loves me, so he hires me back again.
The thing is, I just can't afford to pay for anybody.
You can't get fired if you're technically not on payroll.
Right? See, that's what I'm saying. See, Tree gets me, man.
We're here for the fans. We're here for the fans.
He understands. No, this is the breakdown of the Mississippi State game. Was, man, amazing game. I was definitely frustrated, in the beginning. I think the game moved along where it got a lot more exciting. It was kind of sloppy and a lot of penalties on both sides, which kind of sucks and messes up the flow of the game. But Tree, man, what'd you think? What's your overall reaction?
First off, it was a fun game to be at. I was actually I wanted to make sure I was at this game. We're all good friends with Jamal,
right?
And that was just really cool being at the stadium to see him break the record. I'm glad he finally got there. I was worried that he was gonna break the record on the road, but
right.
Glad the game went into extra innings, so to speak. And then just a really cool moment, I thought, when on the jumbotron they showed Jamal's mom. Yeah. All the fans are holding up, the Jamal signs and stuff. That was just really cool. So happy to be there for that. Kind of went back and forth. I think, if I'm not mistaken, BYU's first lead wasn't till in overtime.
That that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's probably right.
So yeah, it was. I mean, we were on pins and needles. I always like being at the BYU game because you hear all the interesting comments from the
fans,
from the know-it-alls. And
where were you sitting at? Or
man, shout out Russ Tialavea for hooking me up in the nosebleeds. No, it was actually fun. I was actually not far from Brandon Bradley's, so there was a few of us kind of up there. But it was fun, man. I actually like being higher up. I've sat down lower, and you can't see anything. So
no.
So y'all's ears were popping pretty much the whole time.
You gotta bring down bubble listeners. That's bad. Yeah. Shout out Russ, man. I love Russ, and bro, you actually got better than me because I don't even get a response back on my. I'm like, Russ, can I get something, or can I come here? Can I do this? I get nothing, and then I get man. 2 weeks later. He's like, yeah, bro. I'm like. See, the thing was, 2 weeks ago is when I needed those tickets. I'm going to be out of town this week.
2 weeks later, I got you, bro. How many do you need?
No, literally. That's literally the thing is like that. And then, or Russ, I text him, no response. And then I see him, at practice or something. He's like, what's good, bro? What's up? I'm like, man, I'm looking at you. I looked at you for the last 5 minutes, Russ. You're on your phone. I know you saw my text.
No, I can't hate on Russ because he had me front row out of the West Virginia game. So Russ, you're my boy, man. Keep hooking it up, bro.
Shout out to Russ. I'm jealous.
No, but yeah, I mean, last night it was a fun game to be at. Glad we got out with the W, and a few frustrating things, just as far as not being able to move the ball like I'm sure they want to, not being able to come up with stops on third down. Mm-hmm. But other than that, man, I mean. You saw the fans. They rushed the field. They were excited. So
yeah, it was exciting, dude. I mean, I was before, after the game was over. We kind of scrambled on BYU TV to get ready, get the lights on and stuff like that. And I literally, bro, was trying to cover my face because I didn't want people to see me crying. I literally was crying, dude. I'm not lying to you. I was so emotional. I was an emotional wreck, man. And
you get into it, bro.
You do, man. And it does something when you are alumni, but it's a little bit different, bro, when you actually cover these guys, and you do interviews and things like that with them. And I don't know, man, I feel like the last, maybe 6-7 years, especially, with me leaving, BYU is right there with all these games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for this team to finally push through, games like this, because it's just like when you guys were playing, when I was playing, it's like, oh, of course this happens. Of course. Like, of course. Like, it's always that one or two plays like, oh, of course. And this year, and more so towards the last few games, you kind of see those things bouncing our way. So I'm just like, so happy.
Well, one thing that's different about football than like all these other sports, baseball, you play 35 games, basketball, you play 30-something games. Football, you get 12, maybe 13 chances.
Yep. And
you work all year, so it feels like there's so much more riding on each game. And when it's a close game, and you know how much hard work those dudes put into it, dudes that me and Ross played with that are still on the team, Jamal, Taysom, all these guys. You're just happy to see him come out with the victory, because that game, let's be honest, could have easily been in the loss column.
Yeah, easily.
And you think of all the hard work off season, all the practice, all the film study, all that stuff that it goes into 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it's just good to see him come away with the W.
Yeah, bro. See, Ross, that you laughed at me and stuff, but he just backed me up. I was thinking about the hard work that these guys put in. You feel me? I'm thinking about all the blood, sweat, all those snow angels you got to do. Crunches in the snow, push-ups in the snow.
I was picturing you, that Michael Jordan meme face where he's crying. That's what I was looking at you, picturing that face on you in the booth upstairs.
Okay. So, check us out. I definitely had the structure of the face was definitely like that. It was less watery because I was trying not to let my makeup run, and then I had a smile though instead of like a smirk. So that's really, I could paint the picture that way. Oh, and then I had like a bro. I felt like a proud dad, man, like a parent. I did, dude. It was like so like this warming feeling, man. It almost felt like it was Christmas morning. It was weird, bro. Like, that's how good.
To be good, like Brandon said, you know the grind, and it's, if you want to break it down more, if you play offense, then that's half of a game maybe, and defense is half a game, and then the amount of plays that you actually play. Think about how many plays you play in a season. How much time you play in a season. That's
all relative. That's a great point, Ross. But this is where I'm gonna throw a challenge flag, because when y'all play, when Tree played on your team and you guys sucked as an offense, they had way more plays than you guys.
True.
You guys had like 30 plays because it was 3 and out. And they had like 120 plays.
Yeah, so 30, 16. Yeah, so 90 plays in 3 games. What is that? 20 minutes total in 3 games.
Something like that, man.
Yeah, something like that.
You guys even, I'm like, Ross, did you play, bro? Like, your jersey's not dirty. You even got to wash that, man. Saved so much money on detergent that year. Oh, man, I'm messing with you. No, but that's a good point, though, man. I think it just goes back to Bronco and that philosophy, which is, hey, you guys get another opportunity to play. And that's something I wish I would have really appreciated more playing. I didn't really get that until 2010 when we sucked, right? We went through, all of our issues and losing 4 straight. And for Bronco and Coach Howell to say, who cares if the offense throws a pick or gets a fumble or whatever? Like, we got another opportunity to play this game that most kids, 1 out of a million kids get scholarships. I don't know if that's still accurate, but when I was growing up, that's what I heard. And, they would say these numbers and stuff like that, and it's like, dang, bro, like, yeah, appreciate the moment, appreciate the opportunity that you guys have. And, I don't think fans really see that too much because they do just by default see us as a product, right? And so when that product isn't performing well, it's like, everything sucks. Let's go jump off a bridge.
Yeah, it's easy to call people out, I think. But when you have guys like Ross and, Olgletree over here and even you, Brian, just seeing the hard work that you guys talk about, that's the stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see or maybe aren't aware of.
They don't know the grind.
And I think once people are able to have a look into that, because I've gone with Ross to the weight room and early in the morning and like seeing dudes trickle in and seeing the guys who work hard, seeing how much effort the coaches are putting in. You know, they're powwowing at 5 a.m. for these guys in the off season. It's unreal. They're giving high fives to everybody. They're going over the workout that day. You know, this is 5 a.m. when we're all still asleep.
Bro,
even for a loss, they're still going, you know?
The worst, bro, was when you lifted weights and Bronco was in the weight room.
And he came to your station.
And he came to your station, bro.
Just didn't say anything.
Didn't say nothing. Just look. I'm like, Brandon Bradley, put that extra plate on, bro. We about to get it right now. And he's like, what? I'm like, coach is right there, bro. Stop talking.
Well,
Stop talking, B. Come on.
It got to a point when you guys left that he would come to a station and he would tell us more weight. And I got a 95-pound kettlebell trying to do some hamstring, some little deadlifts, hamstring. My back is hurting.
Already two torn labrums.
Shoulder
Pushing
coming out of
through
my
it.
socket.
No,
so
literally,
I'm
bro.
pushing through.
Fans, no lie. This is like week 8 against Air Force. What are you? Hey, good job, Brian. Good job. And like, I remember the like when I think this is when he started to somewhat turn the corner, because in 2009, I didn't really see him too much in the weight room. And then going into 2010 season, during spring ball and winter conditioning, he started to come out more, and he was in the IPF and watching and stuff, which was weird, because I'm like, you're a coach. Like, you didn't even see position coaches weren't even in there, right?
No.
But so for the head man to be in there, and his influence, man, like, he always gives that look, like, on the side, like, he don't even got to speak. He just look at you at the side, and it's like, I'm going to try my hardest right now. I don't even know what's coming across, like, what's coming over my body, but I'm going to do it. And, bro, I remember, like, I maxed out on, like, I don't know, like, 275 or something on, like, hang clings. And I just kept going and go. And my plan, bro, was, like, to do, like, 185. That's a 45 on each side and a 25 on each side. That's all I was trying to do. And I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm a DB. I don't need to lift these weights. I'm good, B. We're good, B. Like, there's no judge zone here, man. I'm not gonna judge you. You're not gonna judge me. Like, let's get this. Let's not break a sweat and let's go home. And Bronco came to the station. I was like, it's over. It's go time, man. It's go time.
I know exactly the face you're talking about when you look to the sideline and it's not even what is it like?
It's hard to describe.
You kind of think it's a smile, but then it's like he's mad.
Yeah.
So you're like in the middle of happy and sad and then gloomy, and then you just got all these feelings coming to you.
Right?
Then
No,
you think you see Jesus at some point.
No, literally, bro. I was talking to Ben Criddle on ESPN 960 earlier this week, and he was talking about the same type of expression that Bronco makes, and like kind of like his like test or whatever, and how he would come up and be like, "Hey, Brian, how you doing today?" And I'm like, I'm good, coach." And he's like, "Why are you good?" I'm like, well, shoot, man. I mean, I got 2 eyes and 2 ears, and like I got 2 legs. I can walk. Like I'm healthy." And he just like would smile and be like, "Oh, nice, good job," and then walk away. I'm like, "Good job for what? Was that a quiz? Like what just happened?" I'm like, "Brandon, bro, I don't know what happened, but I passed, man. Like, I'm good.
Still here.
Right. I'm still here." But no, man. I mean, that hard work and that effort starts to really show on the field. And I think we're starting to see it. And one of the fans' question is, if the passing game was on point, do you think that this team would be 6-1 right now? Because I think we all agree that UCLA, man, is one of those games that, even though it was close, I mean, I feel like it was we call it garbage time, right? Where it's like you really blow out a team and then you let them come back and score 2 touchdowns with like 5 minutes left. They get like an onside kick or whatever. I think that was a little bit more of that scenario where BYU ended up scoring really late, so it looked a lot closer. But other than that, man, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think if there was a better or stronger passing game that this team would be 6-1?
I mean, it's hard to say, obviously, but definitely, I think, like, what I look at is a turnover battle. I think in a lot of the games that we've struggled, that's kind of been more of the issue. It's easy to, in hindsight, look back, if we would have thrown for 300 yards against West Virginia or whatever. But you got to remember, like, you get points and you get yards however they come. So in these games where kind of Jamal's been tearing it up, it's hard to be like, well, I wish we would have passed more, because
Yeah.
you know, the games that they try to stick to the pass, it's like, well, where's Jamal been? Where all Jamal's touches, you know? And so I think you're going to get yards and get points how they come. You know, that's what the coaching staff used to always preach to us is, hey, you know, most games are decided by 1 or 2 plays, and usually those plays are a turnover, change of possession, and or a big play. So eliminate big plays and control the turnover battle. But I mean, it's kind of frustrating. You look at the team that we have in all these close games, and it's easy to be like, man, these guys could be undefeated right now. Who knows that we'd be ranked because we played a heavy schedule. But you know, that's kind of how every season is. You always look back at the games, and there's 2 or 3 big breaks in a game that decide the game. And I don't think you dwell too much on, oh, what could have been. I'm just kind of having fun watching these dudes play.
That's a good point, man. You kind of slapped me back into reality, because and it's hard with me because sometimes I have like this fan's perspective, and then I have like this analyst perspective, and then I have like the player's perspective.
Yeah, and that was straight player perspective,
right? Because I like just, man, now I feel like a jerk because
well, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I as a fan, dude, I wish we won every game, you know. But at the same time, it's like you can look at 2 or 3 plays in each game that kind of decide the game, and it's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, these past couple of games have just been like field goals at the last second, or you know, a last second touchdown, and then you know that's just.
I mean, there's a recency bias where, I mean, it's you remember the end of the game, you know, but it's like if our field goal kicker nails a chip shot last night, we don't go to overtime. You know,
right.
We're not all having heart attacks or whatever. And there's plays like that during every game. You know, tip balls, interceptions that second, first, third quarter you don't remember as much, but they decide the game, man. They decide momentum, and obviously, you know, that's kind of what controls points.
That's true, man. Because and everybody, you know, kind of on set last night was like, it wasn't pretty. It was ugly, but we got the win. I'm like, but at the end of the day, when the 2016-17, you know, rankings and, you know, final scores are all established, nobody's going to remember, oh, in week 7 of Mississippi State, there was approximately 3 penalties. Nobody's going to remember that. Like, they're going to look, oh, okay, it was this to this, and they got that W. Yep. You know, and I think as fans, you know, when as I'm been in media and, you know, hearing a lot and taking, you know, feedback from the fans, especially on this show, the Royal Blue Podcast, by the players for the fans, I definitely kind of get in that mentality, which is like, yeah, we won, but those bums could have had like 30, 40 more points.
For real.
Jerks. Man.
Just because fans want to see certain players succeed, obviously, right? They want Taysom Hill to have a good finishing season. So that's why I think a lot of that comes out. We want to see him succeed, and so a fan will say something like that, you know, if our passing game was on point, because it's really easy to pinpoint that aspect of the game, because you can see what's happening on a pass play. You know, a lot of people don't know the structure of maybe a defense or maybe a run play, and don't understand that, hey, you know, Taysom's not passing the ball. What are we doing? Yeah. You know, why aren't we doing that more? Yeah. And I think it's just people wanting to see action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's what this platform was created for, man, is to break stuff down like this, and heading into next week, you know, we're gonna start doing some whiteboards, some film breakdowns, to really teach the fans, you know, the X's and O's, and really what to look for, you know, why plays are being called or a certain technique is being leveraged, you know, at certain points in the game or certain plays. So I'm excited, man, for what's to come. You know, keep engaging with us. Keep, you know, submitting your questions. Hit all of us up on Twitter and Facebook, social media. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about, whatever that may be. So that's the end of the first quarter. Coming up in the show, I don't know yet. It's going to just be random. We're freestyling at this point. Maybe we should call that the title of the show, the freestyle, the breakdown, Mississippi State guys. So stay tuned. We'll go into the second quarter here shortly. Welcome back to the Royal Blue Podcast, by the players for the fans. You can download and subscribe to the podcast in a number of different ways. Olgletree, we call this different strokes for different folks. And what I mean by that is you can go to iTunes, you can go to TuneIn Radio, you can go to Google Play, Stitcher, all that good stuff. Heck, man, you could even go
Facebook.
to YouTube and download the podcast. And when you are engaging with us on social media, all those posts will be there as well. So get the word out there, man. Last night I got a lot of love from the fans at Lavelle Edwards Stadium. And they were talking about, BYU Sports Nation, BYU TV, and how they loved us and how they loved me. And I'm like, oh, do you like my podcast? And they're like, huh? You got a podcast?
What's your podcast?
And then they'd get all red and stuff. And I'm like, don't worry. I'm not judging you. It's okay. I'm just doing a very poor job of marketing this. But I appreciate the feedback that I need to really get on the grind early mornings and late nights. But, no, man, I appreciate all of you guys have done for us. Appreciate Ross, even though he's got fired 7 times, and Brent Olgletree for being here today.
But did I die?
But did you die?
I'm still here.
But did you die? No, yeah. So, man, let's talk about what I think probably was the biggest thing that stood out to me yesterday, which was just the sloppy play of the game. And penalties and really not being able to be in a rhythm, man. And Ross could speak to it. I mean, I guess defense, it don't really matter. Like, there's really no rhythm. It's just like go and stop them. You know what I mean? But Ross, how does that affect you guys as an offense? Because I really want to know why you guys suck.
Oh my gosh, here we go. No, the penalties are they're the worst, especially when they're dumb penalties that you can avoid. Say you have like a long run and then you get a holding penalty, bring it all the way back. Everybody's tired. They just blocked all the way downfield. Running back, he just ran 40 yards.
Nothing annoys me more as a spectator of football than when you have a nice downfield completion or the quarterback makes a nice play. Last night to Jamal. I think it was on Jamal's touchdown they got called back.
Oh, yeah.
A holding call it's like, dude, why are you holding? The quarterback's not even near you. You don't need to hold.
Right.
The ball's coming out and you're over there, holding someone's jersey just so the ref can throw a flag. It's like, you don't need to hold him.
Just so they don't get a penalty, like a minus.
I know. It's like, dude, the quarterback's been in the pocket for 5-6 seconds now. The ball's coming out. If you don't feel him breathing down your neck, there's no reason to just hold the dude 15 yards away from where the ball is actually coming out.
Right, man.
It's frustrating, man.
It definitely is, dude. And I mean, I think I said this last night on the postgame show. I like it. I like when a team doesn't play good, right? And what I mean by good is penalties, and obviously that hurts your execution, rhythm, all that stuff. But to still come out on top, I think speaks volume, because you saw last week where they played, to me, almost like a perfect game, right, against Michigan State. And what happened, man? I mean, they executed, not too many penalties, no turnovers, and you saw kind of like the manhandle, right? This game, I mean, you are going up against the same, I would say, type of talent as far as height, weight, speed, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But now you don't have your execution. You do have your boneheaded penalties, and it almost comes down to the wire. I mean, how much do you guys really blame the refs versus the actual players? Give me your fans' perspective and give me your like football players' perspective.
Oh man, as a player, we don't even like the refs. I mean,
dude, I never honestly thought about the refs playing. I'm like, because you can't see everything. Offense might be a little different because especially playing receiver, you see the whole field.
Yeah.
But if there's a PI in the secondary and it happens behind you as a linebacker, you don't see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just man, what's going on? And obviously, hands to the face or a late hit, you're not going to see those all the time.
Yeah.
So you just play the next play. That's what you're trained to do. As a fan, like I said, I get kind of annoyed with I do not get annoyed with aggression penalties.
Ooh, okay.
a quote unquote targeting. Now everything's targeting.
Everything, literally.
I
just gave him a high five, ref. What do you mean?
I get really annoyed as a fan with procedure penalties, false start, lined up in the neutral zone, stuff like that. That's just so avoidable.
That's just straight up just like
that's
you're
just focus. Yeah,
right?
It's like, man, come on. Like we're adults. We're not in high school anymore. Get it right. You don't need to jump off sides. Listen to the count. watch the ball, and you never have to jump off sides. So stuff like that's annoying. Like I said, ticky-tack holding calls. Just being there at the game last night, I thought BYU was actually the beneficiary of a lot of calls, like the targeting on Taysom. I didn't think that was targeting.
No.
Some of the PIs downfield that we got, as a fan, you see everything one-sided. Man, we're getting ripped off. We're getting jobbed by these refs. They're getting all the calls. I didn't really feel that way. I thought some of the calls went their way. I thought a lot of calls went our way. So
because it's kind of easy, man, when stuff goes your way, right? And to me, I'm like everybody's like high-fiving, like let's say we get a 15-yard penalty. I'm like, man, that sucks. That wasn't no PI.
Yeah.
And everybody's like the music kind of stops. Like what'd you say, B? We just got a first down, B. Be happy. I'm like.
I remember specifically last night, like I said, just being in the stands, you get a different perspective. But they threw a ball. I think it was to Moroni, in the end zone, and the ball was like 12 yards over his head.
Yeah.
And everyone in the stands was booing one of the PI. It's like, yeah, there was contact. The ball wasn't catchable.
Right.
So why do you want a PI, man?
Right. It doesn't make any sense. And that's
everyone around me was screaming, and I was like, my wife just looks at me. She knows. That's funny.
Right.
Don't get mad. Don't get calm down.
I just roll my eyes, man. It's like, dude, the ball wasn't catchable. Move on, play the next play.
Tree, we got kids. We got kids, Tree. Don't talk about it.
No, at
don't
the
get
same
mad.
time,
Don't get mad.
as a player, you want the fans involved, obviously. And like me, it was something I was thinking about last night, because during the game, I never say anything. Like, I don't cheer, I don't do the fight song. I just watch the game.
Yeah.
And
you don't do the fight song.
But
bro.
As a player,
I don't do the fight song either.
And I think all the people around me singing the fight song are kind of weird. It's like, dude, what do you? but as a player, you love it, because it's like that. Man, all the momentum and all third down when it's loud, it's awesome. And so. I don't, like I said, I don't begrudge anyone who boos a call that they thought was a call, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if it's not a catchable, not a catchable ball, it's not going to be a penalty.
And I don't think a lot of fans, really know that. And to me, man, I mean, as players, obviously the game just evolves, and you start to just go so granular as you get higher and higher. Where in Pee Wee it's just like I'm just straight up athletic. In high school it's like, yeah, I'm athletic, I'm better than you. And then in college it's like, whoa, why is everybody the same speed as me, but like 10 times like bigger? Like what's what I mean? Then you get to the pros and on and on and on. And fans don't really get to go through that evolution. You know what I mean? And really their evolution is just the overall experience of their life. And so if you are coming in as a 22-year-old student, you know what I mean, that has only watched football for 22 years, I mean, how much experience do you get, or how granular do you get to really go? You know what I mean, as far as understanding those little details. The ball being, too high, or, like the rule where that in that play with Mississippi State, the quarterback, came down, it was like an option, and then the receiver just stayed. And Michael Davis came up and then left the receiver wide open, but it looked like a run. And I don't really know the rules or anything like that, but my understanding is, based off of where the quarterback is and how they run between the tackles and the yards outside of the tackles, he's not supposed to do that. I don't know the rule though. That was just something I was texting, Jerem. But I mean, it's just little things like that where I feel like. Yeah, fans are kind of crazy like that, but at the same time, I mean, you do get juice though when they're like, "Get him out of here! Fire him! Give me your key! I'm gonna throw it at his head." Ross,
what's up? What do you have for me?
I was just gonna ask you a question about being in an offense where you have a running back like Jamal that. It's his offense, basically, and you're a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And how does it make you feel to get no love, man? And I don't mean love like praise. I mean love like the actual rock, because it's going to Jamal. Or the running back. Let's not use Jamal, but the running back, right?
The thing is if he's getting the rock and there's positive things going on, I'm not going to have a problem with that, because we're all a team, you know what I'm saying? And
really, bro?
No, I'm being honest.
If you don't get your stats and numbers, how are you gonna go to the NFL, Ross?
I had got to the point where I was just like, whoever gets the ball, if you get upfield, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna block. You know, and like I still remember Tree coming over to the offensive side of the bench. Y'all need to step it up. He's yelling at Coach Doman, telling Coach, don't throw the ball up. He wasn't yelling at the coach, but he would come over and say, somebody needs to do something with the rock because I'm tired. I've been I got a kid. I got to go home after this. I've been on the field for 45 minutes. Y'all been on the field for 5 minutes. And Tree probably doesn't remember because he's banging head the whole game. So.
Too many concussions,
bro. It's so true.
It depends on the player's personality. Me, as long as we come out with the W, I'm fine. The only problem I have is if I'm open and he looks and he doesn't throw it.
Checks down.
or
check down the fullback
or something or a check down to Zed.
But Tree, bro. We know, all receivers are open all receivers are open every single play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, how many times do you hear that, like, bro, I was open? I'm like, no, I was right here.
My favorite would be in pass scale, and, you're right underneath the window, and ball goes somewhere else, and then the receiver, the tight end, or the running back, whoever you're covering, like, tries to act all frustrated, like, man, it's like I was right underneath you. There's no window.
There's a reason why he throw the ball to you, ding dong. Come on, man. Or the worst is when you're in 7-on-7 and everybody's covered up, and then he dumps it off to the running back. I'm like, really?
The running back sprints
really,
upfield.
Jake, the running, like, you got 3 linemen right there, bro. No. You didn't even hit his helmet. You hit his numbers.
It's half scale. Half scale is just a 7-on-7, but you do one half of the field. And so we'd have a running back, go to the half where there's no defensive players. And, we just dump the ball over there to make the defense mad.
Like, bro, we don't even
No, Ross, the best ever, though, was when it would be half scale or full scale, and everyone's covered. And the quarterback would tuck the ball and run. And Coach Doman would be like, good.
Right? I'm like, bro, that's when I quit right there. That's when I take the helmet off.
And then you have Coach Howell yelling at you for not tagging off the quarterback. You're like, man, I'm 13 yards downfield with the tight end.
Oh, no. Oh, coming back. Flashback. That's so true. Like, Coach, bruh. Really, Coach? Like, come on, man. Oh, dude, that's so funny. I just remember I had a flashback where it was like week 10 or something, and we were banging up. This is 2010, so we're still kind of rocky or whatever. And Coach was having us do like hidden drills, not even with the receivers, bro, with the DBs. Like he split half of us and half of us. And first of all, I'd always be like, where's Andrew going? Because I'm going right behind him, so I don't gotta go against Andrew. So then we would hit, and he'd be like, no, you gotta do it this way, and, coach us up and stuff. And it got to the point, man, to week 10, we were like, bro, we're not doing this. Like, and there was like maybe like 3 of us that were like, oh, we're hurt. So it was one point, dude, where Robbie Buckner and a couple of like just the walk-ons were just going over and over again, and Coach Howell was
just to fill the remaining time on the period.
Literally,
we have 4 minutes left in this period.
No, literally, just because there was like 5 of us that were out, and we weren't really out. We just didn't want to hit full speed, and so he was getting so frustrated. He made all of us run to the fence, and so on the way back, so we were talking so much smack, like, man, let's quit, bro. Like, let's just go into like, what are they gonna do? Like,
What are they gonna do if we all quit together at the same time?
No, literally,
let's unionize.
Right? Exactly. So we started jogging, right? So we literally started jogging instead of sprinting. And Coach Howe's like, come on, faster. And he like meets us halfway and goes, you guys don't want to run? Hit the fence again. Bitches all go back.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing you guys hit the fence because we were over on the side, sipping water, waiting for you guys to come back.
Yeah,
we're ready to start the next period of practice, and the DBs are hitting the fence way over there.
Yeah, bro. Then
slowing everything down.
Then I remember, Coach and I and all the offensive coaches like, don't run through my drill. I'm like, bro, don't even start with me. Do not start with me, Coach. I'll get Vic Soto on you so fast.
Hey, 2010, that was a rough year, man.
It was, dude.
And I'm not talking like the season. I'm talking practice.
Bro.
Pads 5 days a week.
Bro.
Walk through in full pads.
See, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I got somebody else to kind of like just confirm. Because I'm a little dramatic and whatnot. I understand that. And so when I talk about that season, bro, what we had to go through, like, and they're like, oh, yeah. But when you have full pads 5 days a week, literally.
Dude, we're talking getting ready for Air Force, taking on cut blocks, and Friday walkthrough in full pads.
Bro, literally, bro. Literally, bro. We were tackling because we had this rule in practice: if the running back got across the line of scrimmage, that was a perfect 10 that we had to run.
Or a duo, and you'd replay the down.
And we had to replay the down.
Which I mean, for the scout O, imagine like we know what the play is, so you replay the play, and now the scout fullback is getting destroyed.
I mean, I saw some vicious literally. Like ESPN SC top 10 hits of all time,
bro.
Daniel Sorensen almost murdered Skylar Ridley. Because Coach Howell made him redo the play like 4 times.
Like it was a slant. If you're a receiver and the coach has you run a slant, and you look in and everybody's mad because they already have like 20 not 20 burpees, but 20 perfect 10s they gotta run. I'm not running the slant.
Right?
No. Why?
No, bro. That's when you get to the point where I'm like, medic, crap. That's right here. It's right here. This right here. That's not even a muscle right there, Ross. Shh, quiet, man. Just keep rubbing me out, dude.
You go run the slant then. I'm not running the slant. Tell them it's a muscle pull right now.
Oh, man. This is too funny, man. Good stuff, man. Trey, I'm happy that you came. That's wrapping up the second quarter. We'll head into the halftime show, sponsored by Rocco's Big City Deli.
I will never stop like a marathon in Boston. Don't get it confused, cause I never feel exhaustion. I will take
Rocco's Big City Deli is located in downtown Provo. You guys go and show Rocco's some love. They always feed us. They take care of us. They take care of Provo. CJ and Veronica are good friends, family friends. Love everything about them and their food, their tacos, wings, sandwiches, all of that good stuff. If you go down and you order something, use the promo code RossApoSucks and has no hands, and you will get a buy one get one free sandwich.
Got so many bars that you thought I was a criminal. Rap it till my head is off, homie. I will never stop.
Welcome back to the Royal Blue Podcast, where all of your dreams come true, where guys like Ross Apo can be anything he wants to be, say anything he wants to say.
What am I today? I woke up. I'm a firefighter today. How about that?
No. Yeah, I'm definitely targeting Ross.
That's targeting right there.
All show, man. That's what happens when I got a defensive guy who will be Brandon Olgletree in the house with us. But no, man, what I mean by that, where all of your dreams come true as far as the topics. This show is for the fans, so all of the conversations and all of the topics are inspired by you guys. So if you haven't done so, follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Yes, right. Brandon Olgletree, Pinterest. Just snapped his head and looked at me like, what? Pinterest?
TheRoyalBluePodcast.com.
Hey, real men pin things, Brandon. So, just shout out to Pinterest.
I don't know people still use Pinterest.
Dude, it's like a 60-40 now, man. Before, like, as far as women and men. So it's coming up, man. And I'm just waiting for Pinterest to hit me up and have me be an advocate for them and say, look, it's okay for men to pin things. It's okay. We gotta break down these walls and these barriers, man. This with men and women and stuff like that, dude. So we start with Pinterest, Brandon. I need you to get on board and start pinning things with us.
I don't know about that, man. I'll let my wife and my mom do that stuff. I'll follow you on Twitter though, for sure.
It's okay, bro. This is what we'll do. We'll make an account, and then your wife will just run it. So it'll be like it's yours, but yeah.
There you go. You get all the decorative cakes.
No, it's gonna be sports stuff.
Recipes.
But yeah, but sports stuff. So like like our son's birthday, and we made a BYU cake, and
There you go.
we want to make a jersey, like makeshift jerseys and stuff. Okay, Ross is looking at me kind of weird, so let's move into the third.
I'm not a pinner.
Let's move into the third quarter, man, and let's continue the conversation that we had in the second quarter as far as just how tough. Maybe that's an understatement, but how hard we practice, under Bronco. From a defensive perspective, because the offense wasn't doing anything, obviously, it showed on the field. But I want to talk about the opposite side, and then just the different philosophies with Kalani and this team. I've only been to a couple practices, but I hear from just the media and from the players, and you can hear in their interviews that they don't really work. I don't want to say work as hard, but that physicality of the practices, are definitely dialed down. And, with us, for example, we used to get our conditioning just going from drill to drill. Obviously, like in the drill, going hard, going fast. But when we had to go to the next period, we were sprinting. And that's how we made up for, not doing too many, additional sprints after practice. But with Kalani, man, and this team, I feel like they're just more technicians. Man, you know what I mean? And I don't know as a player how I feel about that, because, truthfully, I'm just a lazy bum, and I don't know, from a tech. If I had just sitting around practice, huddled up in front of the coach, and we're going through techniques and stuff. I got ADD, so I'd be like looking into space or something. I don't know how would you guys react having more of a technique focused practice rather than it being physical?
I think the main thing about what we had with Bronco is everything was effort based. I mean, how many times did you hear effort?
Yep.
That was the tagline for everything.
I almost got that tattooed
on your forehead.
I mean, Coach Mendenhall, we'd come back and watch film on Monday, after the game, and what he would highlight and show the team was effort plays. It wasn't necessarily like the big hit. It was watch the backside corner sprint all the way across the field. It's like, even if he had nothing to do with the play, Coach Mendenhall, that's what he would highlight, is because he wanted that kind of buy-in. And who he praised, he would praise the guy on the sideline that was waving his towel the hardest to show, man, that's the kind of effort that I want. So I mean, for guys like us, who me and you aren't the prototypical NFL type prospect, right, Brian? Yeah. Ross, we can't say that about you, but I mean, I feel like that brought the most out of me, being an effort-based system.
Yeah.
The other thing is you had to work very hard to get onto the field.
Yeah.
You had to be the best player at your position, and you knew that you were playing 70, 80, 90 plays, and we didn't rotate that much.
No, not like these guys. These guys.
I think like any given game, if there were, let's use an easy number and say 80 defensive snaps.
Yeah.
There were probably 11 to 13 or 14 players that actually played those snaps. I mean, the secondary never rotated, the linebackers never rotated, and the DBs, Coach Kafusi would kind of get those guys in and out depending on who was healthy.
Well, they kind of big. They, linemen kind of need.
Yeah, you go on a long drive and he's going to rotate those dudes in. But that's the difference that I see with these guys. I don't think the conditioning aspect is as important, because I feel like they feel like the coaching staff feels like that they're pretty deep and that they can play a lot of dudes.
Ooh,
and
point, man.
You get guys in and out and keep people fresh. That's that's a difference that I see. As a player, I wouldn't like that as much. I love knowing every play, knowing who was, knowing that KVN was right here, that Preston Hadley was right here, that Joe Sampson was right behind me, that Wona was right next to me, that Romney was right in front of me. It never deviated. And if it was like, it felt weird. You know?
Bro. You know what? I think that's a good point, man. I just don't know how I would adapt. You know what I mean? Because that's like my unit. You know what I mean? And it's nothing against the second or third string guys. I don't think us as players look down upon them or anything. You can't sit at our table. You only first stringers. It wasn't like that. But it's like when you are at practice and you get in trouble when you got to sprint. You're sprinting with your unit, with your first team.
The thing was, it was so hard to earn reps.
Yeah.
That, you know, when you were out there with the guys that you had earned the reps with, if there was like a special kind of bond, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just a different philosophy. I mean, I bet if you watched, you know, Virginia play with where that coaching staff is now, that they probably play 11 to 15 dudes. You know, whereas Kalani probably comes from a system where you have a little bit more depth. You know, he probably works a little bit to develop that depth, and that's how you develop it. Is you get younger guys in, even though they might not be as reliable, as experienced, haven't technically, you know, earned the reps yet. He's going to get them in and get them that game time experience. So I think the depth will come. I mean, I think, you know, one thing that I think that they will do is recruit well, and they'll get the players in that they need to fill the spots.
It's a great point, man. You open my eyes to a whole nother side of it, because, you know, there's times at the game, and I'm looking at on the sideline, I'm like, why is Kai, you know, the number one safety in interceptions in the nation? Why is he on the sideline right now? I was just, you know, going through that every time I saw him. I'm like, man, we need to play, you know. And obviously he made a play in the game, but I'm like, we need guys like him in the game right now, but they're rotating.
I notice it a lot with the linebacker. I mean, you naturally look to the secondary. I look at the linebackers, and you know, when 38 comes out, when 13 comes out, you know, the level of play falls off. You got to get those guys back in. So I hate seeing them on the sideline, but you just kind of got to understand that's the philosophy, man. We're going to get these dudes in. We're going to rotate, keep people fresh, and play the plays.
Well, you look at a guy like Dion Lake, you know, with the secondary having injuries with Troy Warner and a couple others, and the beginning of the season, you know, you had a lot of third string, second string guys, and because of those injuries and because of those rotations, now you're starting to see guys like Dion play, you know, better. You know, making plays, and there's times now too where like D linemen are in and linebackers are in making plays, and I'm like, who is that? Like, who is that? Hey, David Nixon, who's that? Who's that guy right there? He's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I to me, man, I think with BYU, I would almost kind of like to have that when I played, only because depth was always an issue. Yeah. But because depth was
especially in the secondary.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. But with that being an issue at BYU, you know, when I played, that's probably why you kind of really couldn't go to that philosophy. Yeah. You know what I mean? You couldn't really rotate because you always had that huge drop off. It's like if somebody gets hurt, starter, it's like, oh man, oh no, what are we gonna do?
I mean, for me, I had 3 different wide receiver coaches. I had 2 different OCs. You know, the 3 coaches, they all had 3 different personalities. So, you know, Coach Higgins, he was, you know, he would yell, but he would kind of take care of his guys.
Yeah.
So if we, you know, if you know, Cody and I were running a lot, he would, you know, kind of tone it back. And then, you know, Coach Cahoon, that's there right now, he's like one of the most chill coaches, and you know, the other coaches would kind of get mad because, you know, we'd run like 20 goes and then he'd take us out and the other coaches would be like, what are you doing? You know, you put Ross and Cody back in. They need to run some more. And he's like, no, I just finished playing 13 seasons. They don't need to run anymore. And then, you know, you had Coach Holiday come in where he's like, I don't care what you do. You guys are going to run all day long. And, you know, it was, you know, when he turned over and saw DBs do, you know, running, he'd look at us. He's like, y'all need to go do something. Act like you go run, do something, you know. So, you know, I've sat through all, you know, all 3 different personalities, and I don't disagree with what's going on now with what they're doing, you know, toning it back. They have a hard schedule. I mean, you're going to have to tone practice back if you're going to be playing, you know, these, you know, pretty much, you know, P5 schools every single week, and so they have to tone it back a little bit.
I love it from a strategic standpoint because I love when a receiver runs a 50-yard, you know, go route, and then like Michael Davis is taken out, a new corner comes back in, because that receiver that sprinted 80 yards that you just covered, he's going to the sideline to get him a drink, you know, take a little breather, get on a knee. And I got to go right back and guard somebody with fresh legs.
Yeah, it's a hockey sub too. So he's coming off the sideline where, you know, 80 yards downfield. His guy's coming in right where the line of scrimmage.
Right where the line of scrimmage.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Exactly. I'm sprinting 80, and I'm probably going like 60, 75 back. Especially if it's like a hurry up. Oh man, it's at that point, bro. And I remember me, Corey, Brandon, all of us would like tap our heads like sub, and the coaches literally be like, "Stay in there,
Stay in there.
I can't breathe."
You get that wave back to you. Stay in there.
It was so rocky with me and I would say the entire secondary with Coach Howell because he's like Bronco. He's like, we're gonna work. And there were some points where I'm like, Coach, scientifically, this is impossible. This does not make sense. And we would literally, bro, have like arguments on the field while the game, like in between plays. I'm like, Coach, if I give up a touchdown right now, it's on you. And everybody listen, and like everybody's dying laughing while we're in the game because we're talking, cussing at each other back and forth. I'm like, Coach, man, I can't breathe. Get me out of this.
So that's probably where that sign came from. That impossible is nothing because of you. You probably were like, this is impossible. The next day we got impossible is nothing on the screen.
I remember, and there was this technique with cover 2 that I was the biggest one that said this was impossible. And basically, when a corner is in cover 2 and they have to guard the flats, you have a free safety over top, and you have a running back. The play was this. The issue was this. Whenever you had a running back swing out to the backfield, naturally you think, okay, he's in the flat. So as a cover 2 corner or a coverage, I'm staying here. I got to guard that guy. Well, if you had a receiver, if you had 2 receivers, right, or one receiver that just kind of went deep like a post or something, that your safety is covering him.
Over the top.
But then you also see a crosser from the other side crossing. So Coach Howe always wanted us to collision the receiver to help the safety, right? That's covering over the top. Sink, and then get the crosser, be in the lane of the crosser to either get a pick or make the tackle or whatever, or if the quarterback decided to throw to the swing route, the running back, then you have to rally back up. So imagine the type of technique and all that stuff. It's like, bro, it's impossible. And I remember I did it against Colorado State and I did it twice. And I ended up getting a tackle for loss with that swing. And I covered the crosser coming. And I was fast enough to go and tackle the running back behind line of scrimmage. And then the second time I did it, bro, I got a pick. That same concept. So like after that, I was like, dang, bro, we can't use this argument ever. And we came out the gates, bro, in practice to start doing those drills, man.
I got to see these plays. I got to see you collision, cover a crosser, and then come down and hit a running back. You sound like you were 6 people in one play.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Can you pull this up?
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know.
On the website or something,
bro. Like I'm trying. I gotta get into the old vault, but
yeah, we gotta get those VHS tapes out. So
baby Jesus was helping me there. Right? He gave me that power and that strength. But no, man, I want to continue this going into the fourth quarter because, I mean, it's I've just loved being a player again. When this is what you do, Brandon. This is cool, man. Ross never does this. He just gets fired and gets hired. And I don't know really what he does during the day. I mean, he brought Jonda here, like last week, and Jonda, bro, has done like 50,000 more things than Ross has done. I'm like, Ross, what do you do with your life, man? You don't even like when you don't got kids. Tree,
Yeah.
Like you don't got kids, bro. It's fine if you are. You have a job, you are in your career.
I have that one.
You got a wife. Like that's all good, but you don't got kids, bro.
And I do my thing, but
you don't got kids.
I'm
bro.
Still here. Did I die?
Did I
die? You brought me back, so obviously I bring some value.
Oh man! All right, man. We're going to the fourth quarter. That's the end of the third quarter. Going to the fourth quarter to continue this conversation.
It's 4th and inches and I'm going right at them. Keep me from getting money, I won't let them. No matter they size, I'm getting by. Put the pedal to the metal. I bust right through. All that's left is the rebel. All I see is
welcome back to the Royal Blue Podcast. By the players, for the fans, I am your host, Brian Logan. I also have former player Brandon Olgletree with me. I have a has-been Ross Apo with me as well.
right here.
Ross has been getting it all show, man. It's straight up, like Jonathan said, straight up targeting all day on Ross. This is what happens when I'm teamed up with a defensive guy. You know what I mean?
I know. I gotta get some offensive players.
Bro, you
in
got
here,
to, man.
You know, they all got things to do. You know, everybody's busy. Then you see them on Twitter. What's going on?
Right?
You know?
Like, bro, I texted you. And now you over here liking Instagram photos, taking Snapchat stories and pictures, and I don't know how Snapchat
in the woods,
works,
like, bro, you could have been in here defending me. Where was you? Where was you?
Where was you at, bro? Oh my gosh, no, it's fun, man. I'm never gonna be outflanked. I'm gonna make sure. So when Ross is supposed to be, bringing the players on, so he did a good job bringing Tree on. And if he's like, yeah, I got, this guy and this guy, I'm like, nope, that's too many offensive players. I'm not having that.
I'll have Cody in here one day, and we'll just have to.
Yeah, Cody wants
to give you a targeting penalty the whole day.
Offense, there's no targeting for offense, man. We don't. Why don't we ever get the same rules or safety, or I don't know. I don't really know what to call the right word, but offensive guys, man, just straight up spoiled, dude.
Gotta put those points on the board, man. That's all the
I
NCAA
know,
cares about. They want the score to be 55-60.
Right?
I mean, let's be honest.
Gotta protect these dudes.
We go to the game to watch the offense. Come on now. The defense, just makes it interesting, but we go to watch the offense.
Man, you're kind of right though. I don't really watch it. I watch Jamal, and maybe by default I watch the receivers just because
Offense.
I'm watching the corners. You know what I'm saying? So I got to start. It's got to start somewhere. I just like when I watch the game and I watch the receivers. I'm just back in my element, man. That's the first thing I watch anyway. When I'm on the field, I watch the corners and the quarterback. The receiver and the quarterback. You know what I mean? So it's by default. I don't really want to. Tree. I don't want to watch the.
Your eyes are just automatically drawn to it.
Yeah, because once I see what the offense does, then I can snap my eyes back to the corner. You know what I mean? So that's just like most people out there. All the fans. They don't really. They may not want to, Ross. They just kind of have to.
Yeah.
So you guys are up on this pedestal for no reason by default.
It's all good. Well, I'm gonna continue to try to keep getting. Former players, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to stay on the job, and I'm gonna keep working to get more guys in, and hopefully more offensive guys, because we've had pretty much just like all defense. Scott, Brandon, you, Joe.
It's because defense wins championships, baby. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You guys put butts in the seats. And we actually do the work. You know what I mean?
The offensive players will also bring people to the podcast, right, Brian? I feel like that's a benefit.
Ooh,
so
you're right.
So people go to the game to watch the offense. So maybe they're going to come to us to talk to to guys like Cody.
I love that correlation, bro, because you just helped me in a way that you don't even know. Because when I really fully fire Ross and he doesn't come back, then I'm gonna make sure another offensive player is in charge of that. I talked to Devon too, on the sideline of the game, and he's kind of excited about the vision and everything. And I want to take the fourth quarter to talk, more about that and just really what we're trying to do. And I don't know how much did Ross tell you about the podcast, because this would be a good on the spot if Ross. If I could really trust Ross.
It was brief. I was scrambling around.
He filled me in pretty good, man. He told me about what y'all do, and I think it's cool, man. I think it's stuff that people will like to listen to, just because of the perspective that you guys have. So
yeah, man. So what I'm trying to do is, with my background with BYU TV and contributing to ESPN 960. It's been such a blessing to learn from, some of the top people within the industry. And ESPN, NFL Network, they speak very highly, of BYU TV. So, I've been cut from a really good cloth. And what I want to do is make this as professional as possible, by learning, everything that I've from those platforms and bringing it to a professional setting like this. Even though this setting and environment is supposed to be just chill, laid back, and that's what we're doing, right? Everybody, it's no media talk. Like, everybody's chilling. Tree, you've like shown me a whole nother side of Ross Apo. He's this is how Ross is in the locker room when we're clowning around, like, driving or whatnot.
Hold on real quick. So the funnest, what I missed the most was in the hotel before the game, the night before the game, we'd sit at the back table, me, Ross, Cody, Kyle, who else?
Who is Ziggy would be back there sometimes. We'd have those are kind of like the core members, but we'd always have a few alternates fill in. When we had open seats, it was an invite only. You get that look like, come over here. For real? Come on, bro, I got you.
Come on, you're about to get clowned. So we come back from the fireside to snack or whatever. You be eating your wings, your nachos or whatever, and like that was like the funnest thing is you just laugh and talk and make fun of people. That was kind of how we all got along, is you're never going to tell your boys, hey, man, I love you. But once you're getting clowned, that's how hey, man, I care about you.
Bro,
hey, I'm thinking about you,
while you're in your room, you're rethinking life because you just got roasted to death.
Just know that we love you.
Right. That translates to I love you.
No, it does.
If you ever get roasted.
Right. It's like, bro, come step into my office real fast. When I stop clowning you is when you should get nervous. When I stop making fun of you, yeah. Especially while you're in the circle. When you're in the circle or sitting down on in the table with us, and we don't address you, we go down the line in the circle,
you get skipped
and
over.
you get skipped, you should be concerned, bro. You should be concerned. Yes, so true, man. But no, man, I think having this platform is great for fans to hear this, because I want fans to see, the personality. We're still rolling. This is the fourth quarter. So what's that? You're gonna want to wait a minute to put it back. Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay. Don't touch that. We're recording.
What? Huh?
But no, man. I wanted to see. That was Alan. That's DJ interrupting us. I'm just playing.
It's not me. It's the vacuum.
It's okay. It's all right. The fans can hear the vacuum. It's okay. It's Saturday. People are cleaning. No, but I wanted fans to hear and kind of just see a different, perspective of football players, man. And I mean, how many times you are getting interviewed by the media and you kind of have like this pre-made script, right, in your head, because that's how you're taught and you're trained. But coming on here, like, you wouldn't talk about that the clown session or anything like that, and they just hear media talk. And for them to hear us as players and actual individuals, I really trying to bridge that gap and lower us as players on that pedestal and say, look, we just like you guys, man. I'm about to go to Rocco's and say, Ross Apo has no hands and he sucks, so I can get a, buy one get one free sandwich. I'm trying to be like you guys, man. But the overall Alan, you missed it. That was the promo.
That's love. So
that was the promo.
When he makes fun of me, he's saying I love you.
Yep, see that?
So.
We just talked about that. So. But what I'm trying to do is make it, to where we have the community, we have, the fans, community as far as our sponsors, we have our fans, then we have us as players to come together and have fun, man, and be a part of the Royal Blue family. Go ahead, John. I'll let you take it over.
Hey, man, that's the Royal Blue family, and I think there's a lot of stuff that people can look forward to over time. And I think, as things come out and, the more and more we engage with people will kind of flock to it like they have other platforms. And I think you guys have a good opportunity for that, especially because of Ross Apo's connections and relationships.
Right.
Ross does bring quite a bit to the table.
Getting fired and getting
we're
hired.
jealous, but we love you, Ross.
No, but that's a good point, John, and I appreciate that, because the more we can get this out there and the more you guys can share. I mean, if you guys were to just share, everybody's listening to this, were to share this with your one person in your family, and it could be like your spouse or your son, whatever the case is, and then that one person shares it, right? And then on and on and on. It's gonna give us the support and the resources to put more time and energy and quality into this, because right now, man, I mean, me and Tree, you got 2 kids? You got 3 kids now?
3. Yep.
Girl?
Boy, girl.
Boy, girl.
So you got 6 guns.
Hey, Tree, if you need that black uncle that just got out of jail, like let me know, bro. Like when it's prom night, let me know, bro.
Yeah,
I don't plan to leave Utah, so if you still here and I'm still here, like
Brian, I need you to roll up real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Up top, all solid.
Exactly.
Down low, noodles.
Bro, so to Ross's point, we definitely need to be sitting down, maybe in a wheelchair, bro. And I can say, look, I just got out the pen, and I got shot 27 times, and
in the head,
and I can't walk straight, so I'm on this wheelchair. Then they can't see the legs. I'm
gonna draw some teardrops for you.
Oh yes,
you know.
Yes.
So
Don't do what I did, kid.
I mean, we could just make rent a thug.
Rent a thug.
Rent a thug.
What? Rent a thug, bro. Rent a thug. Oh my gosh. Let's make a company. Let's do that. Yeah, man. I'll come with my do-rag, but I got you, Tree. You know.
I got your number, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
As soon as I need the rent a thug, you're there.
Yeah. Rent a thug. The rent a thug. But no, man. I mean, to have daily segments like or shows, and there's just some amazing ideas that these guys have as far as just expansion and. Trying to really tie in and bridge the gap between, professional media like TV and radio versus podcasts and guys being in their garage and really having a true connection and providing just great content for you guys. So appreciate, all that you guys have done for us so far. If you guys can just post, tweet, retweet, all that good stuff, man. That would help us out, and really we would just really be able to pour all those resources, back to you guys. So appreciate you guys, love you guys, join the Royal Blue family, and that's the end of the Royal Blue podcast. What episode is this? 9?
Number 9.
Episode 9. Yeah, man. And Tree. So we have this tradition where when we leave, we say that's another Cougar first down. That's another Cougar
First
down. You gotta do that. See, if you do it with the hands, it doesn't look at you. You won't feel as insecure. The hand. If you just try to do like it isn't. It's not just as beastie like. So yeah,
right.
that's how you gotta do it.